What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the Opinionated Hippie, continuing my deep dive into Tom Waits' studio catalog. Today I'm going to discuss, review, rank, not play music from, praise highly Tom Waits' fourth album, Small Change, came out in 1976. His first, I would argue, S-tier, bona fide classic. As a songwriter, as a lyricist, as a performer, this is it. He's cashing in all his chips. Everything he's learned from his first three albums, he's put into this. It's near perfection. The story I'm going to argue so far from Tom Waits is his first three albums are a different sort of narrative journey, and this fourth one follows in that storyline, but unfortunately takes sort of a not a positive turn, almost like a negative sort of turn, but is still in line with the story and is probably why we have such a masterpiece here. So the first album, Closing Time, in real life, Monday nights at the Troubadour in LA. It's Closing Time is the album of, sounds like some dude who's got like a regular gig on a weeknight. He's got regulars. They're mostly people escaping their normal life where they have nothing else to do but drink on a Monday night. He's maybe one of them in a weird way. You know, he's struggling as a musician. He's got these songs. His songs are about the people that are coming to see his shows and are about the life he experiences or witnesses after these shows early in the morning as he's wandering the streets of LA. Nightclub owners like, hey, dude, you're starting to bring in people on a Monday night. We're going to bump you up to Saturday. Got you some new outfits, bigger show. His second album, Hardest Saturday Night, very much like that. Still the same guy, still very much writing about those same people, still experiencing that same life. But the second album's kind of bigger and brighter and bolder and a little more of like, I've been doing this for a while and people are starting to buy, you know, what I'm putting down. Third album, Nighthawks at the Diner, which is recorded in like a fake live setting in a studio. So it's a bunch of new songs. And it's touted as sort of a studio album, but it's recorded live, but it's not really a live album because everybody's invited. Drinks are free, as he points out on the album. And this is where like some outside club owner who has a big space is like, hey man, we're going to book you on a Saturday night. We're going to promote this. We're going to sell tickets. We got big costumes. It's a big stage. Tom Waits does it. It's a great performance. His skill set is coming through. There's a lot of his charisma comes through, tells a lot of stories. The lyrics are amazing. But what happens is he has this experience, he gets big, he gets the attention, and unfortunately, as a result, he starts drinking too much, he's struggling with the fame. This is maybe not who he is, right? He is still writing these same songs about these down and out characters who are walking the streets of LA or driving the freeways of LA through all hours, broken hearts and drinking. And so he writes this album. An album that's sort of a response to making it big, an album that's a little more intimate, a little more darker. We're still jazzy, but we've learned from everything we've done previously in this sort of jazz nightclub vibe that we're doing. We have a song on here that's pretty much just him and piano. We got one that's pretty much just him and drums. We got one that's pretty much his voice and bass. We got one that's pretty much his voice and sax. Like there's a little bit more experimentation within what is still a pretty small group, you know, just a stand-up bass player, a drummer, piano, saxophone, his voice, very raspy voice at this time. The full Tom Waits rasp is in full effect on this album. And around this time, if you read interviews from this era, Tom Waits was drinking a lot. And he came to this sort of realization that he was romanticizing being a drunk and he was becoming these characters, these drunk characters that he was singing about. And he was almost like excusing his drunk behavior because he was living the life that he was presenting as a performer. So it made sense, but then he realized that was problematic. And so this is an album that deals with alcoholism and deals with like drinking problems. That like there's a song on here, which one is it? I will get there. But it's pretty much, he says, hey, I have these, you know, drinking's causing me to lose my job and do all this stuff. But then it's kind of like, hey, but it's my fault. Like I'm the cause of all this. So there's a lot of self-reflection in this. It's just a fantastic album. And it opens up with what might be his best song ever. That's a bold claim. We still got lots of albums to go. But the first song on here, and all these song titles are really long, which makes them fun. The first song on here, Tom Traubert's, Trau, Tom Traubert's Blues, parentheses, 4 Sheets to the Wind in Copenhagen. Right off the bat, we're drunk. This is just your sort of gut punch of a piano ballad. It's just about this down and out individual. It's just a tour de force of down and outism. There's a line in here towards the end, a battered old suitcase to a hotel. I'm going to take a battered old suitcase to a hotel someplace. It's just about this guy who's just, he's just lost. It's just absolutely amazing. It is just a lyrical tour de force of an opener. The choruses quote Waltzing Matilda, which Tom is, Waltzing Matilda is about like, I think it's about wandering around Australia, but in this version of Waltzing Matilda, it's somebody who's just kind of wandering aimlessly through life with no real purpose. And that the Waltzing Matilda refrain, the repeated use of that, reminds me of the Pogues, and the band played Waltzing Matilda, and there seems to be a connection with the way McGowan's saying that and Tom Waits' version of this, just that there's just this down and out intensity to both. But it is just a great, I mean, I don't know if you can hit a grand slam home run as the leadoff hitter. You can't, because you need people on base, but he somehow does it. He just hits it out of the park on this first song. Just absolutely amazing. And the rawness of his vocals, that rasp is there, that intensity, and just you get a glimpse of his lyrical genius. I mean, not a glimpse, you get a full splattering of his lyrical genius. And for the rest of the album, some of these songs would flirt with similar tones. Some of them would be more sillier and more almost like a slam poetry, beat poetry type thing, like the second song. There's a couple songs on here that have that vibe. But really, he's just putting down the gauntlet here and just saying, hey, I can write songs, people. I can write songs. Second song is called Step Right Up. It's this finger snapping, big band type, not big band, but bigger band, busier jazz thing. It's sort of just him being pitch man, being like a trying to sell you stuff for like 5.5 minutes. It's got all these like snappy one-liners. It's like Madison Avenue type thing, gone crazy, hipster, but maybe a little uppers to like get you popping. Some of the lines, it makes excuses for unwanted lipstick on your collar. I really like that one. It entertains visiting relatives. It's just a bunch of things that this nameless product does. Really snappy. And it just goes for 5.5 minutes. Like, it's a great slam poem is essentially what it is. It's a great beat poem, but it's just got this really upbeat, just indulgent vibe. And it really could probably have gone on for only 3 minutes and been quite effective, because it really is just like one-liner, 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 one-liner for 5.5 minutes. But once you reach that 3-minute mark, you're like, is this still going to keep going? And then it keeps going, and it somehow keeps entertaining you, and the lines keep getting good, better and better. Yeah, just absolutely amazing. A super fun track that's almost needed after sort of the devastating opener that is Tom Traubert. Next is Jitterbug Boy, sharing a curbstone with Chucky Weiss, Robert Marchese, Paul Body, and The Mug and Artie. This is a woozy, drunken piano ballad, kind of reminiscing about all the things this guy's seen or done, most of them New York-based. Yeah, just there's some drunken scat in here where he's like, I mean, really. It just sounds like he's drinking and someone's like, dude, do you know how to scat? He's like, but it's purposeful. He's inhabiting these characters, or not, as he was, as he's said before in interviews. And Chucky Weiss comes up a couple times on this album. He was a club owner at some club Tom Waits played at a couple times. I Wish I Was in New Orleans in the Ninth Ward. This is some nice, really comforting piano. It's a lot more of a gentler number, some nice strings in there. Instrumentally, the melody gives me like Desperado vibes in the beginning. Like we're going to get a little piano intro with some like strings. It's almost like Waits is going to come in like a Desperado. He doesn't. The melody of what he sings is different from Desperado, but the piano energy is very Desperado-y, very raspy, very longing, a very New Orleans-centric song. Chucky Weiss gets name dropped again. We get some sort of woozy New Orleans jazz that kind of seeps in here every once in a while. But this is a nice, slow, woozy-ish type New Orleans inspired piano ballad. Another just bona fide classic, The Piano Has Been Drinking, Not Me, An Evening with Pete King. Drunken, brilliant, rambling piano one-liners, some puns, some wordplay, just amazing lyrics. No, Chucky Weiss wasn't the club owner. That's Pete King. I think Chucky Weiss was a beat poet out of Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. My bad. But anyways, yeah, it's just an amazing. It's just literally, again, another bunch of like him sitting at the piano. It feels like he's sitting at the piano in a bar and he's just like, the carpet needs a haircut. That person needs this. And he's just commenting on what he sees. Another kind of very beat poetry, slam poetry type song. The waitress hates you and all of your friends, which you can imagine that just being drunk and like harassing the people who work there. Just another just song of perfection. Invitation to the Blues. The piano intro is almost like, feels like classically tinged. It feels like we're moving away from sort of the drunken energy of the first part of the album. Then Waits starts singing. You're like, oh, okay. The invitation to the blues is the woman. She is an invitation to the blues. And the narrator's like, hey, man, better watch out for her. And we go through the entire song. And then at the end of it, the narrator's like, yeah, I got other things I'm going to do, but I guess for tonight, I'm going to accept this invitation that I've sort of warned you about. So, guys down. Now, next song, Pasties in a G-String at the 2 o'clock club. This is your sort of very beatnik drummer just going pop, playing, and Tom Waits is just kind of spitting his poetic swag over that drum beat. Super hip stuff. This is just drums and vocals, like you're snapping your fingers along with this stuff. It's about club life, cleavage. It's about pretty much a strip club in a woozy, weight descriptive way. And kind of like Invitation to the Blues, it's one of those that paints this picture of this place that's maybe a little sordid and maybe a little sleazy, maybe like not the most up and up place ever. But like one of the last lines is, or maybe I think it's the last line, it's like, oh, but I'll be back tomorrow night. Yeah. Like that kind of thing. Really hipster type stuff, but a fun song. Really good stuff. Lyrics, absolutely amazing. Next, we get Bad Liver and a Broken Heart and Lowell. The opening melody and the closing melody of the piano playing, it's a piano ballad, quotes as time goes by. A kiss is just a kiss. I think the line in here that best sums up this song and maybe the entire album is, I don't have a drinking problem, except when I can't get a drink. So yeah, there's a lot of clever alcoholic wordplay in this song particularly, but also throughout the album. The One That Got Away, this is a very bass-driven type opening. We're getting that stand-up bass, little spotlight, sax comes in. This is Wade doing that sort of not walking, but like maybe like talking his way through, maybe walking, snapping his fingers, sort of like street corner cool vibe to this song. And this is a description of like a street scene, a city street scene, a night scene, keep referencing The One That Got Away. My only complaint on this entire album is the saxophone will come in for like bursts between the lyrics. And I think the saxophone's mixed too high. It's just a little jarring. It seems like way too much the central figure in this song when I think it should be maybe lurking a little more in the background. The last line, another just great line, is don't misspell her name, buddy. She's the one that got away. I'm like, yeah, that's good. Really good song. The title track is next, Small Change. Got rained on with his own 38. Somebody, Small Change, gets killed in the street, and Waits is just describing life that goes on around this killing. And we get like a verse of like life going on. We reference that Small Change, got dropped by his own 38 to open the song. Then we get this description of like city life going on around him. And then we return to the fact that there's this lifeless body in the middle of the street that people are ignoring, like in the middle of the song. You're like, oh yeah, that's what this was about. And then we go back on to describing life around him. Just another poetic masterpiece. The lyrics in here are just absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite lines, a surveillance of assailants, if that's what you want to call her. Just, yeah, it's amazing. Sax wailing solo in the end. Absolutely fantastic. And I think this is just, if I'm not mistaken, this is one that is just voice and just saxophone. And that's all. If there's drums, it's pretty minor in the background, but I think it's pretty much just a duet between those two. And these things work because I could think Tom Waits really doesn't need any instrumentation, to be honest, to sell these songs. I mean, his charisma, his voice, his lyrics are so powerful that everything else is really just adornment, especially on this album. And then we close out with I Can't Wait to Get Off Work and See My Baby on Montgomery Avenue. Wonder why she's on Montgomery Avenue. I hope that's where she lives and not where she works. This is by far the most upbeat song on here. Like, the dude is living a down and out life, but he's got hope. He's got her. This sounds like if like Randy Newman went on like a 3-week bender and was like, wasn't sure he'd ever be able to get out of it, and then wrote a song. It's got a sort of a Randy Newman sort of, just that, I don't know, classically traditional music type vibe, but the lyrics, the Tom Waits energy infuses the song. It's a perfect album. It is just absolutely amazing. It takes you on a journey to deep, dark, late night Los Angeles, or any other city for that matter, New York, Chicago, late night people struggling through life, people struggling with addiction problems, people drinking too much. But the poetry, the lyricism, it is just off the chain. And the music supports it in 100% just the best way possible. It's great. It's no small change, man. This is big bucks. How would I rank this? Number one, clearly, my favorite. Love it. Easy one for this one. I mean, this is just, yeah, he's, the stars are aligned when he sat down there. Some of them not good stars, like he's struggling with drinking. But his experience has brought him here. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, perfect. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Let me know what you think of this album. If you haven't checked it out, if you're new to Tom Waits, maybe start here. Yeah, why not? We still got a whole journey ahead. Doesn't make the other albums worse. None of them are bad by any stretch of anybody's imagination. But this one, like, yeah. And that opening song, all-time classic. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Peace. Talk to you later.